How's it going? I am making this video because I just wanted to give a shout out to some pretty big people. Some people who are so big, in fact, that they operate completely 100% out of the law despite having all taken oaths to defend and uphold the law. The first person I would like to mention would be Roseanne Ang, A-N-G. She is a magistrate judge in the Marion County Superior Court Juvenile Division. Having taken an oath to defend and uphold the U.S. Constitution and have taken the mantle of unbiased arbiter of justice, she has actually operated outside of the law. She has actively violated people's rights, constitutionally protected rights, and she presumes to instruct free citizens on how they should act and live, with no authority to do so. Additionally, she has completely turned a blind eye to state agencies acting in open defiance of the law and in open defiance of her own court orders. She has tacitly endorsed harm to a young child. The next person I would like to shout out is Mary Beth Brown. She is an attorney and guardian ad litem for Child Advocates of Indiana. She, despite having the responsibility of being an officer of the court and unbiased, actively conspired with the Department of Child Services to violate my rights and described doing so as a pleasure. John Hart is an attorney and a guardian ad litem for Child Advocates Inc. He is actively conspiring to unjustly deprive me and my daughter of our due process rights. And despite being tasked with being an independent officer of the court, actively works with DCS to violate the law. The next person I would like to talk about is Rocheena Wright, Rocheena Wright. She is a family case manager supervisor for the Marion County Department of Child Services West Division, or West Branch. She has, since before this case has been filed, actively conspired with others within the department to unjustly deprive me of my civil rights and my daughter of her civil rights. She actively participated in the cover-up of my daughter's sexual abuse while in DCS custody, and she actively covered up and minimized the 2 head injuries my daughter has suffered while in DCS custody. Additionally, she is directly responsible for placing my daughter with somebody who has a 20-year history of child abuse and ignoring my pleas for help when my daughter tells me she's being abused. Family case manager Sean L. Walton goes by an alias of Wilbur Walton. He's a family case manager for the Marion County Department of Child Services West Division. He has committed perjury. He has conspired to deprive me of my rights and my daughter of her rights. He actively covered up my daughter's abuse and injuries while in DCS care and custody, and has attempted on numerous occasions to use my daughter as leverage, and right now is responsible for the fact that I haven't seen my daughter in a month, with no evidence or no cause for suspending my visits, which are offensive anyways. Additionally, he has challenged me to a fight at the office of DCS. Then there is Vivian Todd Scott, who actively covered up my daughter's sexual abuse, actively covered up my daughter's first head injury, and actively participated in perjuring themselves and violating my civil rights since before the case was opened. Next, I would like to talk about Ian Mueller, IANMULLER. who is guilty of suborning perjury, has committed perjury himself, and has actively conspired to deprive me and my daughter of our fucking rights. Next would be Aaliyah Johnson, who actively conspired to violate my rights and suborned perjury. Next would be Marilyn Moore, the presiding judge of the juvenile division, who has signed off on every unlawful order without reviewing the information. Mark Jones, the other presiding judge in the juvenile division, approving orders that are unlawful without reviewing the information. All of these people are guilty of crimes, actual crimes. All of them have violated their oaths that they have taken, and no one will do anything about it. The day you neglect to stand up for someone else's rights is the day you agree to your rights being violated. I've been fighting these people tooth and nail. I've made this hard for them, right? And I thought I was out of gas. I thought they'd beat me into submission with their unlimited resources and all these other things. The manpower they have access to. I thought they'd beat me into submission. But the way things work out is now I have access to resources I didn't have before. And now I've hired an attorney. Actually, 12 attorneys I've hired. And all of them people are going to pay. I'm not going to rest until they do pay. Stand up for your government. Stand up and be the government you're supposed to be. And quit letting these corrupt fucking people do this to us. Harm my fucking child because y'all won't say shit.